So hello everyone and welcome back down to the plot. So it's my first day down here for a couple of weeks. I was away in France for a week and then tested positive for COVID when I got back. So I've kind of been away for that 5 days and then been in isolation really since. But I'm now negative and got to the end of that isolation period. Although I know you don't have to actually technically isolate anymore, I still have. So what I'm going to do today is, it's long overdue, I'm going to get some plants planted into the ground that have been grown in the greenhouse, and to be honest should have been planted out a little while ago. So let's have a look at some of the plants that I've got. So here we go, you can see I've got one tray here that's got lots of chard and chili plants in. I've got another tray here, again with lots of chili plants, tomatoes, and then in the car I've got another 2 of these trays full of tomato plants, but I'm going to leave them in there till I'm ready to plant them, just in case it tips down with rain and I have to dash. So I've just planted one of the chilies out here, and it's actually a decent size, each one of these beds to take one sort of decent sized chili plant. Other plants I'm going to be doing quite well, so the courgettes are doing quite well. But I've got a big task of getting all of these beds now filled. So let's get going. So these are the 2 tools that I'm going to be using to sort of make sure that these beds are empty of weeds, and also to dig and plant with. So surprise, surprise, both Wolf Garden. This is the first one. It's got a claw on one side and a hole on the other, and that's just on a kind of handheld handle, just to make it a bit easier. And then the second one I've got is this one, which is really good for digging a hole with. So what I'm going to do with this is just go over anywhere there's little weeds coming up. Some of them, if they're right close to the edge, I just have to pull out. And I'm just going over the whole lot, just to cut off any weeds if they are starting to grow. And then any little bits that I see, I'm just going to pull out. And I am expecting a few weeds to be coming up in here, to be honest. This is just all soil that had been dug over, and there had been plenty of weeds and stuff about here before. So next thing I'm going to do is just kind of smooth it over roughly. It will get smoothed over again. And then in about the centre, I'm just going to dig a hole. As you can see, this is really good for just breaking up soil to get into these. Oh, little root down there that can go. Then a little check. Yeah, that's going to be fine in there. So all I'm then going to do is just give the, as you can see, these have got quite some roots on them. Is just try and open up the root ball a little bit, just so that they can continue to actually grow down. What I'm also going to do is, because the soil, as you can see, is quite dry, there's a bit of moisture as you dig down. All I'm going to do is just pour a load of water into the hole. Give that a few moments to soak away. And now that has largely soaked away, I'm going to find the middle point in the bed and then start filling in around. Obviously picking out any bits of root I find. Get it nicely smoothed down. Just going to give it a little bit of a tamp down around the stem, just to make sure it's in nice and solid. There we go, that's one chili plant in there. Find the label. This is one that I bought, it's not one that I grew from seed. And we're just going to stick that in the ground so we know which chili it is. So because I've not got a tripod down with me, I'd obviously have to hold the camera with one hand and sort of do stuff with the other. So I'm going to get cracking. You know what it looks like putting plants in the ground. So I'm going to get planted a load of those, and then we'll come back and see what it looks like. So the planting things is going well. I'm probably actually going to run out of space if anything, but I thought I'd have a little break from putting the plants in to putting some seeds in these. Now I thought it'd be nice to have a load of sunflowers here. I haven't got any started already, so what I thought I'd do is do a little experiment. I'm going to use some of these. I'm going to just scatter these into these planters. Now last year the only one that I had that grew well in the garden was one of these that had fallen from the bird feeder. So I thought this year I'll give it a go, stick a load of these in the ground. If they grow, they grow. If they don't, they don't. I've only lost out on a couple of quid if they do all fail, but hopefully they won't. So let's get scattering. So that's a handful of seeds in each scattered, and all given a copious amount of water to hopefully get them seeds started. And let's get back to planting some more plants. So I've now been up here a couple of hours, which is a bit longer than I thought I'd be, but I've got all those bits and bobs planted out. So let's go and have a little look. So as we start off in the entrance to the plot, I've left this one empty for now. We've got some Gardener's Delight tomatoes in here, and some Roma tomato in there, which is mirrored on the other side. And as we go around, we've got I believe that's a Trinidad Scorpion chili plant there. I'm not 100% sure what these are. I think they could be chard or something like that, but the label had disappeared off the pot, so I'm not sure. There's quite a few of these scattered about. We've got Buchalachia chili. We've got a courgette that's been there for a little while. Prairie Fire chili. Another one of those random green plants. We've got a lemon drop chili. Some Alicante tomatoes. Some more green things. And a Tromboncino courgette. Moving back, we've got some chard in this one. Some more green things in this one. Unlabelled chili plant. We've got some Brad's Atomic tomatoes. Fatali chili. Some more Brad's Atomics. Trinidad Scorpion. I'm not sure which this one was. These are red cherry tomatoes. Some super chili, Armageddon chili, I think some more chard, and a Scotch bonnet chili. And then as we go back to these, we've planted these up with tens of, potentially up to 100 sunflowers. So there we go, that's what I've been up to today. Lots of planting, finally getting some space back in the greenhouse, and actually getting some stuff down into the beds down here to grow on a little bit, because I think everything had got to its very limit in the greenhouse. It was full and nothing was really going to grow past where it had without going leggy or rotting. So that's it for today. So I shall be back down here tomorrow to do some work on the other plot and get that ready to plant some more stuff out by building some more beds. So until then, thank you for watching, take care, happy allotmenting.